People everywhere crave recognition, respect, and genuine connection. Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, reveals that influence is not about manipulation, but about sincerely understanding and valuing others. Success in business and in life depends less on technical knowledge and more on human relationships. Carnegie teaches us that by learning to deal with people in uplifting ways, we unlock opportunities, cooperation, and friendships that transform both personal and professional life. Carnegie begins by highlighting a simple truth: criticism is futile. When we criticize, we wound pride and invite defensiveness. No one improves through humiliation. Instead, he urges us to practice appreciation, to notice even small positive qualities in others. By acknowledging strengths rather than attacking flaws, we open doors to influence. The first rule of winning people is to see them not as problems to fix, but as individuals to encourage and inspire. The book reminds us that sincere appreciation is different from empty flattery. People can sense false praise, and it breeds distrust. Genuine appreciation, however, nourishes the soul and motivates excellence. Carnegie encourages us to develop the habit of looking for the good in others, to express gratitude for contributions, and to celebrate small victories. Sincere appreciation creates loyal allies. Words of encouragement are seeds. When planted sincerely, they grow into trust, respect, and long-term influence. He emphasizes the power of arousing in others an ego want. Most people are absorbed in their own needs and desires. If we wish to influence, we must connect our ideas to what others truly want. Instead of pushing our agenda, Carnegie advises us to ask, how can my ideas serve this person's goals? By aligning our proposals with their interests, we transform resistance into cooperation. Influence grows when people feel seen, heard, and understood. Another principle is to become genuinely interested in others. Too often, people focus on promoting themselves, forgetting that others long to be valued. Carnegie insists that curiosity and empathy are irresistible qualities. Ask questions, listen actively, and show genuine interest in someone's story. By shifting focus from self to others, we form bonds that outlast transactions. Influence is never about being the loudest in the room. It is about being the most attentive. Carnegie also reveals the underestimated power of a smile. A simple smile disarms tension, communicates warmth, and invites openness. Smiling says, "I welcome you," without a single word. Leaders who use smiles sincerely create atmospheres of trust and approachability. In a world heavy with stress and cynicism, a genuine smile is rare and therefore unforgettable. Carnegie reminds us that the smallest gestures often leave the deepest impressions. Influence can begin with something as simple as a smile. He highlights that remembering and using someone's name is a golden key to influence. To each person, their name is the sweetest sound in any language. Forgetting it signals indifference, but remembering it shows respect and attentiveness. Carnegie advises us to make an effort to learn and repeat names naturally. A name is not just a label, it is identity. By honoring it, we honor the individual. Small acts of respect compound into lasting relationships. Another timeless lesson is to be a good listener. Too many people hear only to respond, not to understand. Carnegie insists that listening with genuine attention creates trust and admiration. When someone feels truly heard, they open themselves to influence. By resisting the urge to dominate conversations and instead asking thoughtful questions, we gain more friends and allies. Listening is not passive. It is one of the most active and powerful tools of leadership. The book teaches the importance of talking in terms of other people's interests. Everyone views life through their own lens, and influence comes from speaking their language. Instead of insisting on your perspective, frame ideas in ways that benefit them. Show how cooperation aligns with their passions or needs. Carnegie emphasizes that leadership is not about commanding others to serve your vision. It is about demonstrating how your vision serves them. Carnegie also highlights the value of making others feel important and doing it sincerely. Empty gestures are manipulation, but genuine recognition elevates people's sense of worth. He advises us to approach interactions with the belief that every person holds dignity and value. By treating others as significant, we awaken loyalty and goodwill. The essence of influence lies not in overpowering others, but in uplifting them, reminding them of their importance in the grand story of life. He explores how to handle disagreements gracefully. Most arguments end with both sides hardened, no one convinced. Carnegie urges us to avoid direct confrontation and instead seek common ground. Begin by acknowledging shared values, show respect for differing opinions, and gently guide toward agreement. Winning arguments rarely builds influence, but building respect does. Influence grows when we replace the desire to be right with the desire to remain connected and constructive. Carnegie insists that admitting mistakes quickly and emphatically earns respect. Too often, pride prevents us from apologizing, but humility disarms hostility. People respect honesty and vulnerability more than defensiveness. When we own our errors, we not only restore trust, but strengthen credibility. Influence does not come from appearing flawless, but from demonstrating integrity. A sincere apology turns potential enemies into allies and transforms conflict into cooperation. Finally, Carnegie reminds us that leadership is about inspiration, not intimidation. Demands may force compliance, but they rarely win hearts. True leaders inspire others by painting visions of what can be achieved together. By encouraging, recognizing, and supporting growth, they awaken willingness rather than resentment. Influence built on fear is fragile. Influence built on respect is enduring. The art of winning friends is ultimately the art of becoming the kind of person others choose to follow. Carnegie emphasizes that starting conversations with friendliness sets the tone for influence. Beginning with warmth rather than demand disarms resistance and creates openness. He reminds us that first impressions are powerful, and beginning positively plants the seeds for cooperation. Even in difficult negotiations, a kind opening can soften hearts and build bridges. Influence thrives not in hostility, but in goodwill, and choosing friendliness is a powerful act of leadership in every setting. Another principle is to get others to say yes early in conversations. Carnegie teaches that agreement builds momentum, and people are more likely to continue saying yes after they start. By focusing on shared perspectives and asking questions that invite agreement, we create alignment. This is not manipulation, but psychology in service of cooperation. The more we emphasize common ground, the easier it becomes to guide others toward new ideas without resistance. Carnegie stresses the importance of letting others do most of the talking. People feel valued when they are heard, and they trust those who allow them to express themselves fully. Leadership is not about dominating dialogue, but about drawing out the voices of others. By encouraging participation and making room for expression, we not only learn more, but also strengthen relationships. Influence grows as we learn to listen and invite contributions sincerely. He encourages us to let people believe that ideas are partly theirs. Humans are naturally protective of their opinions, and if they feel forced, they resist. But when they feel ownership of an idea, they support it with passion. Carnegie suggests framing ideas collaboratively, planting seeds, and letting others claim them. Influence is not about stealing credit, but about empowering others to embrace solutions. Shared ownership builds loyalty and ensures lasting cooperation. Another insight is to see situations from the other person's point of view. Empathy transforms conflict into understanding. Carnegie urges us to step into another's shoes, asking how we would feel if we were in their position. By doing so, we dissolve judgment and foster compassion. Influence grows not when we insist on being understood, but when we demonstrate the effort to understand others first. This shift builds bridges where walls once stood. Carnegie also insists on showing sympathy for others' desires. Even when we cannot agree with every wish, acknowledging feelings creates trust. By validating emotions rather than dismissing them, we open dialogue. People rarely need perfect solutions. They need to feel respected and valued. Sympathy transforms resistance into openness. Leaders who show genuine concern for the needs and dreams of others gain influence that commands loyalty far deeper than authority ever could. He highlights the power of appealing to nobler motives. People long to be seen as good, fair, and honorable. By framing requests in terms of higher values, justice, generosity, service, we call forth the best in others. Carnegie reminds us that appealing to selfish motives creates suspicion, but appealing to noble ones awakens pride and cooperation. Influence flows when we challenge people to rise to their better selves rather than settle for lesser instincts. Another technique is to dramatize ideas. Facts alone rarely inspire action, but stories, metaphors, and vivid examples capture imagination. Carnegie shows that dramatization turns information into emotion, and emotion drives behavior. By presenting ideas in compelling ways, through illustrations, comparisons, or passionate delivery, we awaken energy in others. Influence is not about dry persuasion, but about igniting enthusiasm. Great leaders understand that inspiration moves people faster than argument ever could. Carnegie suggests that when persuasion fails, we should throw down a challenge. People are motivated by competition, by the desire to prove themselves, and by the thrill of striving towards something difficult. Challenges transform resistance into drive. By inviting others to rise to a standard, we awaken hidden energy. Influence thrives when we recognize the human spirit's hunger for growth, for tests of courage, and for the satisfaction of triumph. He reminds us that giving honest praise transforms relationships. Praise motivates more effectively than criticism ever will. By noticing effort and acknowledging improvement, we encourage persistence. Carnegie warns against insincere flattery, but insists that genuine recognition fuels confidence. The desire to be appreciated is universal. When leaders meet that desire with honesty, they inspire loyalty, increase performance, and nurture environments where people thrive. Recognition is not weakness. It is one of influence's greatest tools. Carnegie teaches that indirect correction is far more effective than direct confrontation. Rather than exposing faults bluntly, he suggests offering gentle guidance, framing criticism as encouragement, and recognizing strengths before weaknesses. This preserves dignity while still inspiring growth. Influence is not about breaking others down, but about building them up. Correction offered with respect multiplies results, while criticism given with contempt multiplies resentment. Leadership requires tact as much as authority. He also advises giving people a fine reputation to live up to. When we express confidence in someone's abilities, they strive to meet that expectation. Carnegie calls this appealing to the ideal self. By affirming potential, we encourage others to rise above current shortcomings. Influence grows when we believe in people enough to treat them as capable of greatness. Leaders who expect the best often inspire the very excellence they predict. Finally, Carnegie concludes that the greatest secret to influence is helping others succeed. Influence is not manipulation or self-promotion, it is service. When we devote ourselves to lifting others, we win friends, trust, and admiration. Leadership is not about power over others, but about power with others. To win friends and influence people is to live with generosity, humility, and genuine care. This is the legacy Carnegie urges us to embrace and spread.